good afternoon, Saurabh. How are you doing today? Thank you so much for coming on the platform for Joy of Performing podcast that we hold.
Thank you, Gaurav, for inviting me here, and I'm perfectly fine, enjoying. It is Friday afternoon, and I'm looking forward to this conversation.
Lovely. So, Saurabh, we would love to start with your introduction, and if you can take a few minutes and introduce to the audience what have you done, what are you doing today, and what is the passion that you're following in terms of your own growth as well. So, over to you, Saurabh.
Okay. So, Gaurav, I have more than 2 decades of experience, been thorough HR professional throughout my career. Right now, in my current role, I am leading Lipure as a head of HR. And if you talk about my own passion, what I'm doing right now, as we talk in current state, uh, I love engaging with people, communicating with people. This is a bit that we try to give back to the new professionals who are coming into the journey. And on a personal front, I love playing cricket, reading books, and traveling to places. This is all about me. In HR, I have worked with largely two organizations, 11 years with Lipure, around 5 years with Stop into retail domain. And initial career has been with startup organizations. First one was with ICSP in Allahabad, which was a education entrepreneur coming into a field of distance learning in those days. And then I moved down to Noida, had stint with two organizations, Wisdom Pharma. Again, I start up into pharmaceutical and Man Machine, which were the Indian distributor for cleaning systems of Karcher. So this has been my journey. Seen those journey of a startup to scale. Like same has happened in Lipure, and retail was completely different world where I enjoyed working with multiple people on the shop floor.
Lovely. People change their careers very quickly and change the companies that they work with very quickly. 11 years in one company. How did that happen, Saurabh?
So for me, it is more about not about changing companies. It is always about changing your own journey of growth, right? If you are getting those growth, you are meeting with your aspirations within the organization. There is no reason why you should change. You should only change when your professional career or an organization is not able to meet with your aspirations. This has happened with both the organization, not only with Lipure, even with Shoppers. Till time there was some family obligation which called me to NCR. I never thought of changing retail. I was enjoying this. Same has happened over here. This 11-year journey has been complete roller coaster. Have enjoyed. There was a dream which we started. We wanted to see Lipir grow to the 1,000 crore revenue turnover, and that was a communication I used to always have with my HR team then. That think the day we arrive over there, how it will change for us, and that has been dream which kept me going. And my own personal career was taken care well by this organization. So till time enjoying working and enjoying this hustle over here.
That's great. One thing that strikes me in this conversation is that how do you talk about the revenue target or the revenue aspiration, right? And being the HR, that is such a pleasant surprise because normally people think that HR is just a business support function and not a lead function. And here the HR head talking about the revenue is amazing. So just wanted to compliment you for that.
Thank
And
you.
any thoughts on that?
So it is not about me talking about it. I have always been asked this question even while I was getting involved into some business discussions and decisions, even by the HR professionals in my journey. That what do you want to do? You are talking about business. You are on the field meeting with people, and this has happened in retail as well. But my belief has always been HR is there to support a business. If there's no business, there is no HR. So HR has
Hmm.
to build the business, make it exist. And this all thought process has come in my early stage where I was working with lot of founders. What I said, early three startups, they helped me think on this line. When I landed into retail, it is called about retail is all about detail. So there are matrices linked with HR initiatives, which we have practiced, seen the impact on the floor. And when I came into this part of the world, which I never knew, how does the consumer durable industry looks like from outside of the world, we only see those products. But inside of the world, there's too many processes and practices. A different world altogether exists where you have to deal with someone sitting into the rural to the person sitting in urban dealing with GT and modern trade. if we don't know those things, how will I be able to hire a right fit? How will I be able to drive a right performance appraisal? So it is a necessity of HR to know it. If we don't know, then we are setting ourselves for failure. So this has been my belief. This is how me and my team has always worked. And yeah, I'm asked this question the way you asked, but this is the reality, and this is how we have grown.
That's great. That's great. So, diving into the topic today, the performance layer, and more so for the middle management, and let's even, narrow it down to the FMCG world, let's say, right?
Okay.
Because that is the industry you're in, and you kind of know the most on that. What are your opening thoughts as to why there is a performance layer even required for the middle management? What does that even mean for the middle management today? What are the big challenges, maybe three big challenges that the middle management really faces in that performance layer, and how are they overcoming it? So, I mean, I've asked you few many questions, but I just wanted to kind of open it up for you to really set the context right for the audience.
Okay, so Gaurav will primarily focus on to the FMCG, but because I have other industry understanding as well, bring in some insights from there as well for people to understand and we to have clarity onto it. So see, one is middle management. If I talk about middle management in any organization, not only in FMCG, wherever you have a large field force, right? You require this middle management to bridge the gap from vision to execution. This is what I call
Hmm.
it in my terms. So a leadership level, we do have a certain vision for the organization, or how do we want to approach to the go to market strategy or anything like that, the execution on the field. But there is a long chain of hierarchy within the organization. You have people with country like India, you have a diverse uh, people across India, multilinguistic organization, uh, geographical challenges are different, right? And in order to translate those vision to easy executionable daily day, everyday rhythm that we talk about is something what comes from the middle managers. If I keep in the scenario of FMCG, every FMCG organization is today dealing into two kind of world. What we talk it, one is online and other one is offline. Now translating that with the service team in terms of consumer first, or you can call it out as delivery in the last mile, whatever we are looking as a execution matrices, ensuring that is completely in hands of middle managers. Confusion, challenges, whatever comes in between is because of lack in clarity that from HO to the last mile what it goes, if middle managers do not interpret it right. And what I always call about, it is believed in Indian scenario, largely within the sales organization, at times that pressure is directly proportionate to the outcome, right? So the you be more uh, pushing your employees, you'll get more outcome. What I look at it from, the more clarity, more enabling, better outcome, right? And this is where you need to have your middle management ready, and this is why they are critical for any organization or an organizational setup to drive those results.
I love the way you say that middle management in a industry at least which has big field sales, it's really critical for the vision to get into reality, right? Now, what are the steps, if we can name them, what are the steps that a good middle management layer in any organization needs to do in order for them to take that vision and actually make it a reality? What are those things that you would suggest?
So there are two, three steps which I can recommend. There could be many more which other learned people will bring onto the table. But what I see is one, seeking clarity about the vision to ensure there is no misinterpretation about the goal, right? That is one. And clarifying your role, getting your role clarity so that you have a complete ownership and accountability of delivering things, right? That should be done, and then translating that in an easy language for your employees below, those who look up to you as a role model, in terms of defining it, how will success look like first, and what are the simple actions which they need to do every day, so that we keep track of those indicators that they are doing right, they are on the right trajectory, because outcome is far fetched. It will come when it will come, when once you're ready. but every day we can only look at our the input metrics, right? And last, they should know what simple 3 4 5 matrices they should drive and they should focus on, rather than focusing on all the parameter and trying to build their own duplicate or a clone in the team. They should enable those team members to do it well.
So great. I think super. So let's talk about the first one, taking that vision, building clarity, having those goals be described, and then cascading them down to various teams, organizations, and you would have colleagues at other organization as well. How are they doing it today, and what according to you is the best way to manage this? Because this can be complicated, right? At the organization level, let's say organization has a clear goal set up, a clear annual operating plan, but at the lowest level, people who are on the field sales, I mean, they don't know the macro of it. They know very small thing, that what do they need to do in order to sell to primary or secondary or tertiary, right? So there is a big gap between that two. So how are you filling it? What are the best practices?
Uh, there's no big initiatives, let me put it like this, Gaurav. It is making things simple. What we have been doing it, and what I've seen larger organizations also doing it, wherever I have worked, is simple to communicate those large visions as a smaller picture to the last mile, right? And how do we do it? We build in lot of workshops during the AOP meetings, or the further breaking down of the issues. I remember when I had joined this organization, my first interaction was in Jagannath Puri, the first AOP meet of the region East. And there, a leader was talking about taluka level, seal level outlets, what is the universe looks like. And I was so overwhelmed with that data. Why he's talking about all this? It is very simple product lineage. And then we realized, breaking down to that clarity for that employee to know which segment to go, where to go, and what to pitch, what will be the opportunity outside in the market, and his actions is the best way to deal with. Today also we continue with that activity. What we have only added up in this activity is that making person understand his goals, his targets, and also make him aware of the interdependencies of other department, which we have evolved as an organization, started building it up now. So doing this repeatedly and keeping the communication right, employees would not know where do they stand. They only know the outcome of tertiaries and primaries, and the WOD that we talk about. Employee would not know what he's missing in his action to enable that.
Right.
Regular feedback, on the job coaching. We started field coaching way back in 2018, where the leaders used to go, HR team and other leaders from the head office used to go into the field, work with that employee in the field. In the evening, once the day is over, 15-minute catch up, quick action nudges to be given to them. These are the things. How did you do well? What do you think? What you could have done better? Doing a role play as well during those visits. These are the initiatives which made people life look easy. Even the impossible targets became achievable for them, or they made a genuine effort towards those.
No, that's great. The way you described it, it seems like you figured it out, and that's important, because only when you are able to figure it out at your end, you can create that process and give it to your management for them to really execute on that. So, Saurabh, let me ask you: are there any technology tools that you're using that you think is helping you through this process as well? Because I mean, great having a workshop, having an outdoor activity once a year, once in 6 months, once in quarter is great. But how do you keep that continuity? So, just wanted to check on that.
So there are multiple tools that is being used by every department. Sales team do have their own softwares to track their daily numbers, the application to track employee movement. You have a service team having their own CRM, and the SAP dealing with the financial outcomes and the stock of it. But as a HR, we have two tools that we are working on. One is our current organization, till the time we talk, People Strong is live, where we have our goal sheets on the portal, where we do quarterly reviews and checkups. But as we talk, we are also in an initial stage of implementation of Joy of Performance, where we found out this gap. This gap was not only in terms of the numbers are visible to everyone on the board, but those qualitative conversations, what made me more interested into this was what is transparent into the conversation of a manager and an employee. What are the simple action points that we are building up, and how is the employee able to see what he's going to earn during his incentives if he performs, which is one of the monetary benefit that employee always looks at. And he should know that what he's going to get if he delivers this. And those small nudges, small catch ups, and off the go tasks which are to these employees are getting uploaded into this system. And this is what we are looking as one of the big game changer in terms of defining performance outcome for our organization as well.
Right. And do you think the performance is usually a word which is only relevant for HRs, or the middle managers, the executives, even the CXOs? How much importance do they give to the word performance and measuring and maintaining and increasing the performance of the organization?
Gaurav, my take is it is more important for everyone else except for HR, because HR at the time when the word comes, we start wearing this own self-proclaimed hat saying that we want to drive performance. Performance is not driven by HR. It is largely HR who enables an environment. It enables the culture within the organization. Performance gets driven with the employees and the managers on the ground wherever they work. And managers are accountable for those business outcomes. They are people who are working on it, but maybe they don't know how to go about it. They are not the the subject matter expert of people emotions, the people behavior, and that is where HR has to come into to facilitate, enable those middle managers and employ themselves to get this vision converted into the reality for the organization.
No, that's great. We at Joy of Performing, I mean, we are working with you now, and we at Joy of Performing uh, actually second that, because we've seen that HR can enable it, but unless all the stakeholders actually think of performance as a core value in their organization, it is extremely hard to do that. And in today's competitive world, whether you are focused on your top line or you want to manage or increase your bottom line, without the performance or without caring about the performance of the people, it's going to be extremely hard. And we like to speak about it, and maybe we should delve into it more. I always say there is lag indicator and lead indicator, right?
Yes.
We as founders or we as business owners are always obsessed about the lag indicators, which is to reach the target, but it's the lead indicator or the journey that you provide and enable your workforce actually gets you there. So totally with you, totally with you.
Yeah, yeah. I was just wanted to add on to it, Gaurav, that it was your team as well which came and made this thing felt by us, because we were feeling it, but we were not knowing what exactly needs to be solved. And when me and your team started working onto it, deliberated onto it, we found out there is immense opportunity to work onto it, which can leverage the performance. And that is why we said let's start onto this journey.
No, absolutely, thankfully. And it takes a leader like yourself to identify and work on it as well, right? So compliments to you for that too. So let me get on to the second side of performance, which is more human, which is more people centric, right? What do you think are the traits for being a great middle manager? If there is someone who's let's say on the field today and has the aspiration to become a middle manager and kind of grow from there on, what would be the journey for you in the specific FMCG industry? If we talk about, what could be the traits, what could be the competency, what are the skills to acquire?
So, competences, I would not like to dwell much onto it, because that is a larger subject to work on. But I can talk about the traits that we would like to look at, which a successful middle manager should own, and they should be able to get the growth that they're aspiring for. First and foremost is seeking calmness in those chaos, because industry is moving, you are on the go, you are running everywhere. I meet with lot of people, not only in my company, even when we go to market we see a lot of people or ex-employees connecting with me when they are in other organization. Most of them are on the go, running, working very hard, very sincere, very hard, but what they are missing out is the breaking down of those larger picture into smaller actionable things for them. Sitting down and reflecting what is working, what is not working. This is the first thing which I would like to always recommend these middle managers. What you can say about stop, look, and then go. And it is always required as a cycle, through the week, through the month, twice thrice you should see, because you are marshalling a troop with you. Everyone is running, but some of them would be doing good, some of them would not be doing so good. Can we build those peer level knowledge sharing to make that situation become more conducive for other person to also perform? That is one thing which I will put in. Second is, everyday rhythm to be looked into. So it is not once in a month or once in a quarter rhythm that will give you a outcome. It is every day tracking, working, and ensuring your team is aligned on those, lead indicators which has to be executed. They have to look at those things, deliver those KPIs every day. These two things, and largely what I have done and what I have learned is their own learning capability. You need to be agile enough to learn new skills and readjust your sail if things are not going comfortably well in any of your territory or any one of the employee, or say competition has brought in something new, or the industry has changed. You need to readjust your sales. The older skills will not take you forward. Learning
Hmm.
capability, adjustment over there, the situational leadership that talk about, execution rhythm is second, and third is planning, organizing, stop, look, and go, where you should reflect what is working, what is not working, what else I can do in this situation, because at the
No,
end you
that's
are there
great.
to get the result.
And that's great. So let's say I am a person who wants to be fantastic at middle management, and I've understood the three things that you said, and I agree. Is this something that has to be inborn as a capability in me, or I can acquire it? And if I need to acquire it, how do I go about it? And today, our organization taking steps in learning and development to get people trained for these as well. What is your experience on?
See, I am firm believer of skills can be acquired, and I will only bring in an analogy of cricket over here, because I have been following cricket for since childhood. Sachin was a God gifted cricketer, and I think he was the only one who was God gifted like that, immensely God gifted. Rest all other successful cricketers are made. Be it Dravid, Dhoni, Brian Lara, Virat Kohli, Rohit Sharmas of the world. All of them have come out and developed those skills. Someone has developed a skill of hard hitting. Someone have developed a skill of being called a wall. So you have to find out your own uh, area of development, and it can be improved. If I have improved certain things in my own career, in my own life, I think anyone in the world can improve. Skills can be improved. You have to be mindful about that. You have to be aspirational about your growth, and you should be restless for acquiring those skills. These are three things what I look at.
Got it. And what are organizations doing today to make the learning and development more conducive as an environment?
I think if you ask me, Gaurav, most of the organizations, largely any of middle to big enterprises, you look at these organizations, all of them are investing a lot into L&D. Only thing is that the today digital world has evolved a lot. We as an organization, if I talk about our kind of organization, we have a LMS in place, small videos, nudges, anything of your aspiration, your L&D journey, everything is mapped into the system. Employees just need to log into over there and learn whenever, wherever, at their own comfort time, convenient time. uh, we are doing that. So are other organizations. There are many free free learning tools available. YouTube has become a big bank. A lot of we are doing this podcast, someone can look at this and they can acquire something as well. So I think there's too many avenues open now. Organizations are building onto it. Lot of trainers and speakers are there. Of course, they're working for the corporates, which we know that organizations are investing into. It is a big industry, by the way, but it is on to the employee. I always tell that even if organizations are not working into it, you are into the market, you can ask for feedback, you can ask from your partners, your peer level in the industry. I network with many HR folks into the industry, and I have learned from each one of them. I've learned from you, I've learned from Ravi, and this is how the journey starts and works. Companies are investing, all of them have budgets. It is just you have to take advantage of it.
Very well, very well. So last section. Where do you see this going? Like, you've been in the business for 20 years. Played many different roles at Liftpure for now 11 years. What do you think has been going on till now, and do you think that's how the future is going to be, or with any disruptions like AI, technology, competition, globalization, where do you see going for the next 10 years?
What I can say, what happened till time in the industry, we have evolved, but we have evolved at a slow pace. Now, I'll not call it disruption, but rate of change is going to multiply manifolds, right? When we started pre-COVID, everything was normal. During After COVID, the digitization hit in, AI came into discussion. If you look at the trade, how it is working, online was there, but then we started having this race of minutes of delivery, right? I don't know where it is going to stop, but right now we are at 5 minutes, 7 minute delivery, right? The consumer behavior and experience is changing, right?
Hmm.
So, apart from the support function, HR, management, we all understand those things at the leadership level. Middle managers and the employees need to learn this, and they have to be aware about it. AI is going to change the landscape. We have been talking about the JDs will get, or job roles will get redefined, right? Uh, there was a discussion which is largely settled now, where people used to ask, "Is AI going to take the job?" But now we are taking, AI will not take the job. Someone using AI might take your job.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
coming from FMCG, market scenarios are changing. Consumers are changing. A person sitting in rural India, I come from Jharkhand, Dhanbad, 32 kilometer outside of Dhanbad, and I was there for this church celebration recently, and I could see a person carrying something on his bike, and I could relate it to Delhi mein hota tha. Have they reached here as well?
Hmm.
That is invisible because it is not grown to that level. But I think this quick commerce industry is going to change consumer behaviors. Trade wall, barriers and walls are going to be broken now. Nothing
Hmm.
will remain as modern trade, general trade, B2B or something. Salesman is a salesman, consumer is a consumer. You need to go and sell. If you're not able to sell in this trade,
Right.
you'll have to find another trade where you want to sell, or else organizations will suffer a lot, and employees would also suffer a lot.
Hmm. Hmm. No, great. Thank you. Thanks for your time today, Saurabh. We really enjoyed this conversation, and I'm sure whether it's the HR professional or the middle managers or somebody who wants to be one will get a lot from this, right? Any parting thoughts before we let you go?
Gaurav, it has always been a pleasure engaging with you because you're working into this field of performance and other thing. And I am a firm believer that technology is going to impact two fields of HR. That is, one is your recruitment, and
Hmm.
second is performance. Because you ask any entrepreneur, CEOs, MDs, founders, their worry is getting the best out of their employees, and performance is something which is being debated now on the boardroom. uh, to the employees, those who are resistant or they are not accepting the change of technology into their life, they should start using it. Technology and use of technology is only going to cut the noise and make things clear, and it will make their life easier for the new skills that they have to acquire. That's it.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Saurabh, for your time. And Saurabh, if any of our audience wants to reach out to you, what is the best way for them to get through you?
I'm available on LinkedIn, I'm available on mail, available on Twitter. They can reach out to me through any medium. In case if you can give my number or mail ID on in your you know uh,
We will.
podcast somewhere, it will help.
Yes.
Please give my personal mail ID over there. I will be more
Sure.
than happy to help anyone, because I was helped by someone when I was growing up. So this is
So kind.
my duty to contribute to the community.
So kind. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot, Gaurav, for inviting me.